We're going to be on.
Go.
So we are automatically on here. Nobody. We're not playing the music or nothing.
We're gonna do it
Yes.
live.
All right. So we are now live. Hello, everyone, and good morning. Here we are back again, me and Brenda, and we got Darren with us and waiting on Lady P. We're just trying to see what's going on this morning. So maybe we'll talk. Oh, there's she. I think she's back. Oh, there she is. Are you on with us, Lady P? Can you hear us? Lady P. Oh,
She's the one that said she was gonna do it. So
yeah,
they
Lady
must be
P.
having some problems.
Can she hear us? Lady
Having
P.
a little technical
Okay.
difficulties.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
Okay,
we
cool.
hear you.
Sorry. Gotta beat
Good
something over
morning,
here.
y'all.
Good
We're going
morning.
live.
We are live, yep. So,
And with the CPS Punisher somewhere in
I'm
the
here.
midst.
yeah, he's here. He's here. We are all here. So, I mean, this, we were supposed to be on at midnight, but I got the jabber in my jaw again, running my mouth, talking.
Justice
We're
never
all sweet
sleeps. That's all I
talkers.
can
Jinx.
say.
Do what?
Justice never sleeps.
Right. That's it. And that's a big thing. Like us parents that are faced with this nightmare CPS, you get insomnia bad. I mean,
Oh, so
come on,
many
like,
sleepless nights have been spent
right.
on reading case laws and looking up laws and writing stuff down. My husband thought I was
And
crazy for a while, but
that's
gotta be
exactly,
done.
yeah. And then the endless nights the sleepless nights where you can't rest because you're worried about your children or child, where they're at, what's going on with them, how do they feel? I mean, it's traumatizing. It's very traumatizing, and I'm sure that
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why I had to fill my mind with that. I had to do something. I'm like, I can't just sit here. I got to try to do something to get them. And that helped me a lot. Reading laws and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It helped me get my
sometimes
mind off of it, and I knew I was helping.
Did you ever
them.
get burn out from it? Like looking,
Well,
sometimes you maybe experience a burnout, and
I
that's when you
tell
got.
you, for my children's case, I appealed it. Florida court, and then Florida Supreme Court, and then the U.S. Supreme Court. I did it all on my own because actually there was going to be a court-appointed attorney brought in for the appeal, and I waited months and months, it seemed, and then my husband was appointed an attorney also, but she already did all the stuff. So I kind of used her format to file my own appeal, because all of a sudden, months later, the attorney's like, I don't see anything appealable here. And then he just left me hanging. And I'm like, oh, serious. For the,
Why didn't you guys have one case if you were married? Why didn't you guys should have had one case if you were married, right?
You would think, right?
Like my husband and I have one case.
It was one case, but we each had different attorneys.
I mean, I do too, but we didn't need it. I guess we could have had one attorney as long as you're on the same page and want the same thing.
Something they're used to is just separating, and from the beginning, from the get-go, they subject us to go to this I think it's Meridian, and it's come to find out this place that's in Gainesville, Florida, main focus is adoption. So why are you sending my family there and to counselors over there? They're sending each kid to a different counselor. We never was counseled together as a family ever.
Wow.
I can't get a hold of my daughter's counselor either. And they keep saying that I'm not calling them. I'm like, I call her all the time. She doesn't answer.
Exactly.
And of course they only put them with their counselors, right?
Right.
The CPS counselor.
Exactly.
Everybody is contracted by them.
Right. And anybody they want to choose, somebody that they know that would definitely
Well,
agree
the
with
thing
them.
is
And
that I believe that's what all that meridian was, is like, is also like for substance abuse, all these different things. So we had to go through substance abuse as well, even though, I mean, we never had, Chris, and we had to go to AA meetings, and Chris is like, we've never had trouble with alcohol. I mean, like, but we're going to these AA meetings. It's just like, we did
So how
everything
did
at
they
once.
TPR you? What did they say? You guys did all your stuff and they still TPR'd you?
Yeah, it's crazy because like they were trying to say we didn't follow the case plan or something like this, but I have a certificate that shows yes that I did. And I completed it, but they kept trying to get Chris like not to be able to complete his substance abuse thing, and it was very strange because we knew something was up. The thing was is that at first me and him were going to like a marriage counselor together because we're like, okay, why not, we thought
welcome
it'd
in,
be fun, like
everyone.
that one movie we'll go, and it'd be like, because
Yeah.
every marriage could use some fine tuning, whatever.
Yeah.
And then the lady literally started acting crazy. She's showing us like
We
all her certificates on the wall and stuff. So
got
we have
people
to go there
coming.
like once a
Hey
week.
guys, welcome.
Hi,
Good
and
morning.
Put
hi,
a recorder
Annalise.
in his pocket. Okay, he put a
Mhm.
recorder in his pocket because began to say crazy stuff.
Mhm.
So one day
Mhm.
we go back. He says, "I'm going to record this," because she's saying that we said things we didn't, and she was saying things like, "Oh, when you guys come, there's like, for some reason, I have to spray down the whole office when you come because." You guys smell like musty or something. We're like, what are you talking about? Because we're always like wearing our best clothes and taking showers before we come. And Chris is
Trying to
like,
say
well,
you
maybe
guys
it
smell like
was because
weed.
he
Yeah.
smoked a cigarette in the car or
Hi,
something like that.
hi,
But it was all like a mind game with her because she
Brenda.
knew that.
And
Go
just
ahead.
Yeah.
let's say hey. Let's welcome these people that are coming in. Because
Okay.
to get, but let's just tell them what we're talking about. Like
Okay.
just if y'all want to introduce yourselves, welcome in everyone. I see we had a couple people in the chat. Rahul Sharma, welcome in. Thank you for joining us.
Welcome.
We got
Hey.
we're here unmasking the failures within our CPS child welfare system here in the U.S.
Wow,
We
you
got
guys dealing with
Brenda,
it?
huh?
Mhm.
It's asking them if they're dealing with CPS wherever
Yeah,
they are.
and we got Brenda and Lady P here. My name is Danielle, and we like, share, follow, comment, and just come join us if you got a story. We're more than that's what we're
Yeah,
here
it's
for.
really just what we're saying is we're all victims, and
There you
it's
go.
just it's we're parents that are victims to CPS, and it's just like we're survivors. You can say
Yep.
we're
There
surviving
you
it,
go.
but we're trying to
Mhm.
survive it, and keep it on our mental health like
Mhm.
in check, and
Right.
And it's
Some
trying
of
to
good
us
to
keep
have
have
our
already been
others
through
to
it, and some of us are
exercise,
still going through it.
Mhm.
and it's good to have others that you can support, like lean on, like us for support. And don't isolate yourself. And if you're going through something like this, you definitely will need a support team. And friends, people you trust, because see, going through something and then your kids being taken from you, it's very traumatizing.
And you can get a lot of good information from people who've already been through it. I didn't
Shit.
know anything when this first happened. A lot of parents don't, and that really messes them up, They really don't know their rights, and
Mhm.
before they know it, their kids are gone.
Yeah, same thing happened to me. We had no idea what was happening. We had no idea
Mhm.
at all.
Hi, Jade.
But you
Well,
think I'm a good parent, so come on in, guys. I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
and yeah, and you're talking about when they show up at your door, Lady B.
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
You
So
don't
when
realize that they're really against you. They just want to,
well, the
so
thing,
what
you don't
yeah,
what's
when
realize.
they
someone
showed
supposed
up
to
at
do if
my
they show up at
door,
the door?
though, it's like my kids were a little bit older,
Mm-hmm.
and
Hi, Jade. Welcome
they
in.
actually threatened my children that if they didn't open the door, they would bust it down because me and my husband were put in jail for over a little bit of marijuana. But the thing was is that you know my children didn't want to open the door, and so they threatened to bust it down. I was like, my son ended up telling me like all the stuff that happened when they come in.
Yeah.
There was like 3 deputies. Oh, there was a sheriff my husband was running against. like
Were
3
they
deputies
home
and a
alone?
CPS worker.
Yeah, were they home
They
alone? They
came.
probably had the right to if they were home alone, honestly. But if you are an adult and they do not have a warrant, you do not have to open that door. Do not give them your kids. If they come with a paper signed by a supervisor or something like that, is not a warrant. It needs to be a warrant signed by a judge,
And just because the
dated,
officer's there, don't mean you
sealed.
have to open your door.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it's not, say I talked to my attorney and they'll be in contact with you. Even if you don't have an attorney, just say that.
Right?
Yeah, and that's the thing, and Herbert always says the same thing. Always stay calm. Don't like show any excitement in your voice. Just like always be just like very calm about what you're saying and how you approach them.
And tell
But
them
don't trust them.
what's the officer. If an officer shows up with CPS, what's the officer's job? They're there just to what? Like,
To show muscle. They're not there. They can't really do anything.
right?
Make sure things don't get violent.
They better hope they got some muscles.
They're not there to enforce anything unless
Right.
they have a warrant. Which most of the time they don't.
And they're there to keep the peace. That's it. They're not
Right.
there to tell you, to order you to do anything. They're just there to keep the peace.
Right.
And make sure there ain't no domestic, like, kind of like a violent
Make sure you don't
situation
hurt
going violent. Yeah.
the social worker.
Right. So, you know, because these CPS workers, they try to persuade you and manipulate you and deceive you into telling them your whole life story when
Yeah.
you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to say nothing to them. Do not.
Not your friends.
Right. Sure. We all three of us have been faced with this nightmare in our lives, and we're going
So many hundreds of thousands and
Yes.
millions of parents
nationwide, all over the world.
all over the world
out there. There are so many, and it seems like it's sadly enough, it's like getting more and more, like more and more. I mean,
Yes.
the more we look, the more people we find.
Right.
You know?
And,
Yeah. Because greed
Right.
never sleeps. It's
Right.
never enough. The people on top who are greedy, they just are getting more greedy.
Yeah.
They want more money, which means more kids.
And yeah, and it's sad to know that someone would ever think that a child is a there's a price on a child. That's just cash for kids. That's just, I mean, that's
Well, they brainwashed the social workers well enough where the social workers believe that they're doing something right. Right? Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to sleep with themselves.
you would think.
So they brainwash them into thinking, "Oh, I'm doing the right thing. This is right for the kids. I'm saving these children."
But they're really,
And
when
and,
really
and
they're
the
doing the
foster
complete opposite.
placements as well. They will manipulate the foster placements as to the parents look at what criminals they are, you know, because they will set you up beforehand. I mean, it seems like even before our case happened, they were putting like trespass orders against us for the newspaper and some other place. I'm like, what is going on here?
like,
You know,
they had
my husband has
everything
never
in
even
place.
walked in this place.
There are three kinds of foster parents. There are really amazing ones who just have good hearts and are amazing people and are
Right.
loving. But unfortunately, they're far and few between. And then there are the crazy narcissistic ones that think that they are saving these children and gonna, have children. They're gonna come to them and they're gonna show them what love is, and they're gonna save them from abuse. And these kids are gonna love them and be so appreciative. Those are the narcissists. Parental alienators. They will keep them away from the parents. And then you have the
And then
child
you got the
abusers
hustlers too.
who want to utilize, having access to a bunch of vulnerable kids all the time.
And for cash, for that money, they
Yes,
have
right.
they want these foster kids because they come with the money. Like they get money, and that's, I've learned that there are some foster parents out there that do it for a hustle game. It's all a game to them. It's a hustle, and it's sad to know that our children, these
those are the abusers
Right.
too, because otherwise they'd just be a daycare.
Right. And you got to think like, and like when I said on my show earlier today, you know, these cases where, especially if you have a special needs child, and in the case, these people are having to call us parents to ask how to take care of our child. Well, that's why you removed them from my home, like, because you said I couldn't parent.
You told me I couldn't.
Right. How did that make us feel? Like, and they just, if they know so much, why can't they they shouldn't be calling us to take care of. No, because that's not.
My social worker said these exact words to me when I told her I was scared for my children's safety. She said, the only way you can keep your children safe are if they're with you. So you better get them back soon. I was like, are you kidding me? You guys take this from me? Until now you're telling me you can't keep them safe?
Wow. That is.
I can only keep them safe?
That's. And the things these.
I have it in text message too.
The things these people, these caseworkers, I mean, it's like out in Arizona, there was some social workers that was playing a joke and went out around the town and was wearing pink shirts that said, on the front it said professional kidnappers, and then on the back it said, do you know where your children are? And they actually went around town flaunting this stuff. And I mean, they did eventually.
I thought those were activists.
No,
like who wanted to bring attention to
social
CPS.
workers. There was like 7 of them, and professional kidnappers. And could you imagine walking around the mall or something and see something like that and wonder what? For one, you automatically think pedophile. Like, what's really y'all's motive? And are thinking, and then you find out there are social workers doing that. Like, what the? I mean, those people. They're stupid to walk in the streets like that. Hello, these are children. These are children.
And some of these foster places, like they're gathering up so many kids, like just like packing them in, And what's supposed to, everybody's supposed to have their own bedroom, is what they explain to us and everything like this. These are the rules. If you want to pass a home study, you better make sure you have a room for each of your children or whatever. But it's kind of funny.
That's the least now. Now they're licensing felons and child abusers. People who are on the child abuse registry. They're waiving them and giving them foster licenses. So the bedroom numbers are the least of the worries now.
Those caseworkers can go across state lines now, which is crazy. I mean, it's kind of like, when, like we talked before, remember, like referring to probate for like prison and interstate combat. It's horrible just to know the same wording, the same vocabulary, the same terminology is used in our prison, like for people that have gotten in trouble. And it also, the same
that's where they
for our
end
children.
up. 70% of inmates were foster kids.
And
I'm telling you, when I ended up having to go to prison for trying to rescue my daughter, I swear every lady that I had a conversation with also lost their kids.
Yeah.
So what is going on? It's just like amazing how many people I found. And that's why when I got out, I started going on Facebook and typed in CPS, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm not the only one. What the heck's going on here?
Right.
Right. And the majority of these people were foster kids to begin with. So it's a cycle. They're setting up future, job security for themselves. They're going to ruin these kids' lives, and then they're going to grow up and they're not going to be able to care for their kids, and we can save their kids. And it's a never ending cycle here. All the way up to the prison system. It's a big business.
They say that kids aging out of foster care within the first 4 years, 2 years, I know they end up homeless, on poverty level, are using substances, pregnant.
Can you imagine not having any family, living life and not having any family to turn to?
Yep.
Being young,
and they just letting you out and letting you do the free world at 18.
Nothing. Yeah.
They send you out the door with a trash bag full of your stuff, and that's it. That's it. That's
exactly. And that's what was missing from our house when we got back to the house, is like they'd used our trash bags to pile a bunch of the kids' clothes in the bag. But actually, they weren't even the kids' clothes. They were the wrong sizes, and took their blankets and whatnot, and just filled up a trash bag and took them away. Wow. I was like, whoa. And then they said the children, like they were 10 and 12 at that time, said that they didn't know how to take care of themselves. And they said both of my children had delayed, but that wasn't true. But then they put my son somewhere where they were fostering all these babies, and he was made to babysit. So they were having my child at 10 years old babysit a bunch of babies.
It's like they have these kids in these offices, like
slave labor.
Well, the death rate in foster care is 50 times higher than with parents.
well, you know, it's every all
and that's
do what now?
That was a really hard statistic to come to because they hide it. I had to search for months and do a lot of digging and a lot of hard work to figure out that statistic.
And it's that so these numbers they tell us aren't real. Everyone, like the numbers, just like with the North Carolina with the death toll up there. I mean, the news ain't telling you the truth. And just like with these our America's children, they're not telling you. They're not going to tell you how many's missing. No, they're not going to.
They put out in their report every year that 99.6% of foster children are not abused or neglected. 99.6% are not.
That right there is automatic. I mean, look at all the kids that are taken from their homes. Like,
I've never met a foster kid who wasn't
right.
abused.
I've never met a foster kid that's
mentally or physically.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. I mean, when in every way possible, these kids are sex traffic, labor traffic, child traffic. I mean, it's the what is
If they're running away, of course, and they don't even go after them. Do you know that I read in the manual here that if the child is over 12 years old, they wait 3 days before calling the cops if the kid runs
that's
away?
in the manual. Yep.
And I was like, if a parent did that, they would take the child away. They would say that was,
They actually just did that in Georgia, in Blue Ridge. The mom, the kid was walking like down the street or something and for school, missed school or something, and they ended up locking up the mother because of. I mean, the child was missing. I mean, he was missing for 2 or 3 days, and they went after her, but they never said anything until a friend brought it up. The boy was he was like in his teenage years, like 12, 13. But
well, I think my daughter was what was he 15? She was 15 at the time where I seen her in these deplorable conditions, and I thought, doing what any mother would do. She's like, "Mom, I got my bags packed. I'm ready to go. I was wondering where you were." She's autistic. Okay, maybe a long time could seem like a short time to her. But literally, she did have her stuff ready to get the heck out of there. But again, now when they first thought she was a runner, or she was running away, so that was their first search, was around the whole area. Meanwhile, my idea was to get her to Louisiana because I knew my son was already approved and certified to take custody of the children, and then I go from there, because knowing, with the history of law enforcement having a false bulletin on us, and knowing that every time our name pops up, even for a short traffic ticket, that they're going to possibly might break a law. The cops might, because they believe we're some type of threat. And I do have a copy of 2 different bulletins like this, and it's called Fusion Exchange Centers. They share information from state to state. Law enforcement does. It's not anything that was established in a court of law, but it's just it's making these law enforcement act out in violence towards us, or maybe.
That's another thing. If you are dealing with CPS, record everything and document everything, but keep your mouth shut. Okay, don't tell them, don't yell at them, don't make a big scene. You don't want to be a target, because if you just rub them the wrong way, you will be a target. You'll be a target to them, and they can make your life hell, take your kids, throw you in prison. They have a lot of power. So you just have to deal with it until you get your kids back, and then you can sue them in court the right way.
That's the thing, is we were on our best behavior, and it's kind of,
but don't let them bully you.
It's kind of interesting to see that people that do that, they like, okay, I'm going to sue this caseworker, and I'm going to do all this. Well, we didn't do any of this, okay, because they feel, even by taking to court, that that's some type of threat towards them. But we should try to do everything pleasantly, but I'm telling you, it didn't work out for us. So are some cases that are successful. Ours wasn't one of them.
Well, that's, there's
majority aren't, unfortunately. The statistics in Connecticut just came out for this year that said only 31% of children get reunified, and another 30% get adopted. So the other 30. What is that? 40% gets who knows what?
More than
They're
that,
just in limbo.
How much percent did you say for the
31% get reunified, which they say whenever they talk about it, they say, "Oh, a vast majority of the children go home." The vast majority is like over 75%.
Right, 31% is very that's low, and that's not a very good number, because I can tell you
most states are at least over 50, but that's still
well. From the data that I've seen from the different states, I haven't seen any numbers over 50 with the reunification. It's like it's gotten worse since 2020. The numbers have dropped in a negative way, and it's not. And so what's causing, for one, when they look in,
they're paying for adoptions now for all children of all ages. They used to only pay for adoptions for older teenagers. Now it's from birth. So you adopt a kid and you also get paid for it, for your.
Well, also, you got these removals too. They're taking kids over the least. I mean, things that can be worked on, things that the child should be able to stay in the home, and they can provide services for that family or that child, or the family for the child to get them where they need to be to take care of their family again.
And they're legally supposed to do that.
Or find family, a kinship, or someone that can, before they put the child in foster care. And I can tell you right now, they do not do that. Reasonable efforts, everyone. Reasonable efforts, and they don't.
Okay, guys, I gotta show in the morning. So I'm gonna go. If
Okay,
anybody's up early, 9:30 Eastern time.
Brenda. Okay. Bye, Brenda.
All right, bye, Brenda.
Are you still with us?
Is anybody else still with us?
Yeah, we got like 5 people, but we'll cut it off at 30 minutes. We're at, we got 3 minutes till 30 minutes, and then
why does that go? If it goes over, what happens?
Nothing. We just
do you get like charged for it?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I don't know.
That's all right. I don't know how to. It's my first time on you.
But really. I mean, we could always, we were doing just a test run. We were supposed to, way earlier. Sorry, y'all. We're like 5 hours late, 4 hours late. But we did get a lot of things discussed regarding the child welfare system, and things that are going on in our lives, and helping one another, and that's what we're here for y'all. Reach out if y'all are struggling, if you're faced with CPS, somebody faced with child welfare, foster care, whatever. Even if it's not even that, if you need to talk, just kind of, hey, I'm here, Lady P's here, we're here.
Yeah.
And
you have kids and they're driving you crazy, and you want CPS to come pick them up, because I felt like that a couple times.
Don't call CPS.
I have a lot of kids, so they drive me crazy. I was never.
You're right.
Just kidding.
And don't ever these anonymous callers. Don't ever call CPS on someone. Don't ever do. Just even out of spite. Don't.
Go beat them up. Don't call CPS.
Like, where's the?
I'd rather get
advice we're giving. I don't know. Just kidding. It's when you're faced with this nightmare, and you lose your kid for there ain't no telling what allegations or what you're being accused of, but you're not being told anything. It makes you wonder a lot of things, and you're like, so that's what we're here for. We're here to share our knowledge, share our stories, and help you gain the knowledge that you need, and the help you need, or even build you up.
So you have a better outcome. So you don't get CPR'd. We can
or
help you
even
with that.
help them with gaining the courage to speak out and voice their story and be the voice for your child. Because that's what we want. You want to be the voice for your child. You want to be the voice. We want to be the voice for the ones that are lost in the foster system, the ones in these residential these group homes, the nonverbal ones, because
yes, the ones who all their parents have been ripped out of their lives.
KPR, or they lost their rights for petty stuff that poverty should not be a reason or an excuse or anything for it.
CPR shouldn't be done unless you kill your child or almost kill your
physically
child.
beat. No, there are children out there that are in danger that these people are overlooking, and they're worried about someone not having.
Right, they're so busy with us that they're missing the children who are actually in danger.
And it's crazy because I've seen not just the other day, I seen a mom that they should not, the things that were going on. I'm like, wow. And it makes you wonder what really goes through these caseworkers' heads and these people that work for Department of Family and Children Services or Child Protective Services. What are they thinking?
Well, and they know that the children are in more danger in foster care. That's the thing, they know this. So that's how you know it's a corrupt system.
So that's what we're here for, people. Let's bring the light to this. Let's break the cycle. Let's get her done.
Yes.
Pack it up and
get the laws changed. Talk to your legislators. Talk to your senators.
Yep. And Lady P, Brenda.
A lot of people think it will ever happen to me. I'm a great parent, but it doesn't matter if you're a great parent because they go after great parents all the time.
And then just because if you have CPS in your life does not mean you're a bad person. I promise you. Don't let them take your shine away. Don't let them bully you. You are still someone. Your life still matters. Your child lives matter. We are still people too.
And your children deserve you. That's another thing. They convince you that your children will be better off without you. And that is not true. Statistically, that is completely not true. Morally, it's not true. No matter how many faults you may have, your baby belongs.
And that's all across the board. Every doctor, every research person that has looked into that, it's every one of them says a child is more successful and develops way better with their parents. That
even in abusive households than in foster care.
And just imagine what they go through in foster care. They're isolated. They're what about a nonverbal special needs child?
Babies. Babies. It's heart-wrenching. Who can't talk, who can't fight back, who can't tell you what's going on.
We gotta break the silence, guys. We gotta bring the light to this. It's time. It's now. It's that time. It's gotten that much more worse than ever over a decade. I
feel like we're really coming together now. More people are
parents.
Because unfortunately, they're taking more kids, but that's making more parents realize that, wait, this is what CPS does? I thought they saved kids. But you really don't realize it until it happens to you. You think all these parents are crappy parents and they deserve to get their kids taken away. They must have done something wrong.
And people that aren't going through CPS or that you don't know someone that's going through it, don't I can't say enough. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge. Don't automatically, because that's just think about these families that are going through this. But
about the children. Even if you parent differently, even if you make different decisions, even if you wouldn't do the things that mother does, that doesn't mean that child doesn't belong with its mother. You have to remember that. You don't walk around like we're our crap doesn't stink.
Like you're better than a bag of Doritos. No.
Along with their own mother.
And it's sad to know that these people think that these children come with a of money amount over their head. Like, why would you ever think of my child as that? When
I know.
what would they complain that they're overworked and underpaid and and of course, well, I can't tell about the high turnover rates.
The ones on the front lines are. The ones on the front lines are, the minions,
Yeah.
caseworkers, the ones that we deal with. Because we never see anyone else. That's for a reason.
But then the ones like the caseworkers that are the ones that oversee the cases and that have to listen to their supervisors and stuff, I could imagine is that and there are some good ones. There are good ones in the system.
But they don't make any decisions either.
It's like
even
they're
the good
just there
ones.
for
They make
moral
no
support,
decisions. They have
like
no power.
encourager, a motivator, like to motivate.
Not really. They're just here to get information on us. They're little spies.
But really, when you know what they're supposed to be, they're supposed to be like attached at your hip, and the one that's like your accountability partner, like the one that's like the one that's pushing you to do better, to get to where you need to be reunified with your kids, not to see you.
Is that really? Is that really what they're supposed to do?
And they don't, like you in your case, if you have a CPS case, and from what I've even read in like the manual, like on the Georgia, the child welfare site here in Georgia, their manual, even in the probate court manual, guardianship, your caseworker is supposed, if you have a CPS case, your caseworker is supposed to be the one. You and that person should be like best friends. Y'all should be like two peas in a pod, like two buddies, two best buds. And it's not nothing like that. Really, it's two people that
I've never heard of anything like that.
I have, like, and that's how, as a matter of fact, let me see if I got the pamphlet. And that's, I have it. I got it off the Child Information Gateway too. And when I got the pamphlet sent out to me, and
yeah, it's sad. It's sad. I've never heard of that, and that's what they're really supposed to be doing. Because I've never felt that way.
Me neither. And do you know?
But at the beginning, I didn't think that they were really against me. It took me a while. It took me a while to start figuring things out. That these people are really.
And then by that,
corrupt. They don't care about
and then by that time, is it too late? Like, did you let your case get?
Yep. Oh yeah, they were already taken.
And think about it, everyone. That these cases, when you have a CPS case, the timeline with them is very quick, and they will try to push it. It's like there's numbers over our heads.
And everyone always thinks they're not going to take my kids. No way. They can't, because I didn't do anything wrong. I'm not doing anything bad enough for them to take my kids.
Even if it's fabricated.
Yes,
even if
they lie. They get away with everything.
They do no wrong in their eyes.
So don't think
they do no wrong in their eyes. Sorry. I mean,
yes. There's a quote that I love. It's kind of long, but part of it goes, of all the tyrannies, the worst tyranny in the world is the ones that that abuse you for your own good, right? The ones who think that they're doing well by you.
And
I said that terribly. I gotta find it and write it down. But I read it all the time, and it's like they think they're doing God's work, but they're making hell of earth.
And they're making it's like they're living in a dream, but it's a false world, you know?
Yes, they said they will never stop abusing you because they do it with the acceptance of their own conscience. They think they're doing right.
So and they try to mess with your mentality. They try to reverse psychology. They use your stuff against you. They build a case against you. I mean, they probably won't even get your name right. I promise you. Like, make sure
you got to stay on the defensive.
Like, I'm too
smart. Call a lawyer if you can afford a lawyer. Sell all your belongings to get a lawyer.
Fight for your kids.
Because there's nothing more important than your kids.
Fight for your kids. Protect our children, America's children. These are our future. No child deserves to ever have to stress about what's something being done to them. They should feel safe, protected, and be able to be a child and grow up as a child. No stresses, no worries. Protect these. This is America's children, everyone. Protect. Listen, we have to stand up and save our children. Protect our children. They don't deserve being. They don't deserve nothing like this.
They deserve to be with their
and
parents. Because no matter what happens in life, bad things happen to all people, and all people go
right,
through struggles. But as long as children have that foundation of
he's
a mother and a father, or a mother or a father, just their parents, and knowing that they
right,
have that, they'll be able to overcome any
hmm
adversity.
right,
Without that, they can't, and they don't end up
right,
well.
and it does affect their development, like a child being stripped from their
Physically,
family.
it physically affects their
Oh yeah,
brain development of the
psychologically,
child.
physically, mentally, emotionally. I mean, just imagine, think about being a boy that's 17 and his grandma passes on and he's taken and sit,
Ripped away to some faraway place that he
there's
knows
no family
nobody.
around there, and he's in a facility. And just imagine nobody knows, a new world, a new place, a new environment. Never, only to see this, the real, like the outside world once a week when you go on a van ride. Could you just imagine? That's like kind of like being in jail or prison. But yeah,
Prison.
and
Yeah.
and that's my son I'm referring to. Like a van ride, guys. My son was always going anywhere he wanted to before foster care or before the state got involved. First, for no reason. Like they had no business doing what they did, what they've done, and, and
Right. And making these children mourn their parents when they're still
yeah,
alive.
right,
Right? They take these children away from their parents, and then sometimes, a lot of times, they do it for good. They
yep,
terminate their rights, and the children can never see their
right,
parents again. They have to mourn them like they died.
and it's
It's,
yep,
it's
and
terrible.
like in my son's case, he's out there, and I contact him, and I wish that I can just walk out my back door and him be right there, but I can't.
But he's coming home
Yes,
soon. We have
mhm,
fought. Danielle
yep,
has fought, and she's been
yep,
smart, and she has worked really hard.
yep.
So it is possible. Don't stop fighting, guys. Don't stop fighting
We're starting.
in
It's
a good way.
these are your kids. These are your babies. These are our babies. These are America's future.
Make it more
This is
important.
our world. These are what is gonna, we are to build the foundation for them for their future. I want any child in this world to be successful. I want them to be happy. I want them to live an awesome life, and then a successful life, and a good life. And
And having your kids taken away is hard for the parents. It's terrible. And that's how a lot of CPS, they wait for you to fail, right? They take something from you when you're already not doing great in life, right? You're already down. And then they take your children away, and you feel like you can't live anymore. You
right.
feel like,
And
what's the
why can't
point?
they?
And they wait for that. Like, they give you enough rope to hang yourself
They
with.
feed off that.
But you can't do that. You have to stay
Mhm.
strong because your kids need you. It's not about you
Yeah,
anymore. Your kids
and
need
lean
you.
on other parents, lean on other people. If you're ever in a downfall to where you're depression maybe, and you are you are loved and you are wanted here,
Your kids
and
need you. You cannot leave them.
reach out to us. We're here for you. And there's 988 if you ever. And I would hope that any parent would have never want to take that route out. Like, we're fight for your kids. Don't give up. Don't give up. Do not let these
We're
people
all here.
bully you. No.
Yeah, you can't let them
So
win. Because
yes,
they are bullies, and that's how they've gotten away with
yep.
it for so long. Because bullies who aren't stopped, they
They're
just get worse and
complacent with what
worse.
they've known. Like the system,
They just get worse. Like what's that saying? You give a kid an inch, they
right?
take a mile.
Right.
That's what they do. Like, oh, we got away with that.
Yep.
Let's try some more. Let's do this. What else
Right.
can we get away with
Right.
without
And it's
all come
and
crashing down
and
soon?
they definitely don't follow by their own policies and procedures. They make their own. I mean, I think most of us can say that I believe, like in my situation, there's been nothing done by what the manual says. Like
No,
those rules and
the
those
opposite.
procedures are in place for a reason. Like because of stuff like this with CPS, like 'cause that would be a hectic, and look what it's doing to the lives of these families and kids. Like,
right, because it's not supposed to be just any willy-nilly making detrimental choices for families however they feel. They're supposed to follow the policies because those are supposed to be the best mode of action, right? They're done by experts, and this is the best thing for kids. And most of it says leave them with their parents. Right. Leave the children with their parents at almost all costs. Help the parents with whatever they're going through.
Yep.
But they don't do that.
The families, it's supposed to be families reunited, not families divided. Well,
there was somebody who used to drive around in a truck. I saw it a couple times in Connecticut. So he had a pickup truck, and in the back of the pickup truck, he had this huge, like, I don't know if it's cardboard, it must have been plywood, kind of like a teepee, right? Taking up the whole back of this thing, and it said DCF, destroying children's futures. Because here we call it DCF.
Right, and
so anywhere you would drive around on the highway, you'd see it.
Wow. And so imagine how they're. Yep.
That was like years ago.
It's changed so much, and like for the worse. Like it's not gotten no better. It's actually they've got too complacent in their time. Like they've gotten way too healthy.
Yeah, you know what I noticed? There's like a time, like when I go on and I find like YouTube videos of CPS issues, there's a timeline. A lot of it was like 10, 11 years ago. There was a lot of issues and uprising and information about it. And then it's like dead until now. It's like another uprising.
Every so often.
It's sad that they didn't get anywhere. 10 years ago, they said they were going to change this and that and this and that, and everything was going to change. And nothing did. So we're not going to let
some states, they've been under a consent decree, and they're still not abiding by it.
Oh, yeah. We were under that for 20 years, and it did nothing.
Some of this corruption has been going on, like in Georgia, since the 1900s, like the 1970s, 80s, and then it's just gotten worse over the years. I mean, it's back when I was a teenager, you never heard about this stuff. Never.
Yeah, they've perfected their, crimes. They've been able to perfect their.
So true. Sorry, but
techniques.
Do what? I know.
I was looking for the word. I said they've been able to perfect their techniques over the years, make it better, easier, better to hide.
They've gotten away with it so long, and so that's why it's time to speak out, parents. Let's get it done, and let's let our voices be heard and be the voice for these ones lost in the system. Because these are our kids, and let's bring these babies home. So, well, I guess.
Yes. Oh, Brenda's in the comments. Hey, Brenda.
Yeah, Brenda.
Hey, Jade.
Yes.
Where are you guys from? Jade and what is that, Raylu? I can't see him. Sorry, my thing is small. Raul, where are you guys from?
There's Raul, and then Annalisa and Jade.
What?
Sorry.
What time is it where you guys are? It's 5 o'clock in the morning here.
Yeah,
5:20.
Something just
it's coffee time.
Right. It's like I'm going cross-eyed now. We have been we had a group meeting before we were supposed to get on the podcast earlier, but we actually discussed some things with a fellow co-host Brenda, and actually talked about a lot of things with even Darren. And I think we got a lot of
about kind of Brenda's case and her family and how we could really help her. It's really what we did for hours. We really try to help each other out.
I think it soothed her mind a little bit, like eased Brenda up. Us talking it out, and even like playing like the role of the attorney or whatnot, like just challenging. You know what I'm saying? Like what we were asking.
And helping other people always helps you too. It takes your mind off of your stuff. You always want to try to help people.
You never want to isolate in something like this. Never want to isolate. No. Don't put yourself in that position, because it's very. You can only get.
And don't feel ashamed. I felt that way. I didn't want to tell anybody.
It's not your fault.
that, had CPS involved because it has a bad stigma to it.
Don't blame yourself. It's not your fault.
Right. Yeah. It's not. Everybody goes through problems. It does not make you a bad parent.
The thing is,
bad
life is
person.
not. Life is going to do what life's going to do at life's time. Like life, we don't run life. We make our decisions as it goes on. But life's going to throw at us what it wants to throw at us, or whatever our higher power has in store for us. But it's how we overcome those challenges, or those decision making, those times.
Right.
And you know what? Everybody makes mistakes, and it's
yeah. And everybody makes mistakes more than once, and more than twice, and more than 3 times. Sometimes we keep falling, but you just got to get back up.
Keep getting up and go at it again.
You don't have to ever be a perfect parent. Your kids love you and need you, even if in all of your imperfections. As long as you're not beating them, you love them the best you can. Which I believe is 99.9% of parents. Really,
it's not like parenting comes with an instruction manual. No, it's not like it definitely does not come with an instruction manual.
right.
So,
and that's what CPS is supposed to help parents who aren't great parents. Quote unquote. They're supposed to help them be better parents. That's the point of CPS.
They're supposed to be like that encouragement, that strength to build you up to where.
Yeah, and teach you how to, about child development and stuff. But they don't know anything. I remember I told you that story how they took my kids so fast, and they were like, she was telling my kids to put their coats on and like getting frustrated with them. My kids are 5 and 2. And I'm like, you need to relax, lady. Like, how does she not understand how to deal with children? Like, just because you're frustrated, like, you need to take a breath, not take it out on the kids. Like, they don't know what's going on. They're scared. They need to be assured of what's going on and explain things,
Right. And
it's just, I feel like I live in the Twilight Zone.
And it's like they can do, and these people probably don't even have kids themselves. Like, probably, and they're young, they're fresh out of school, or are trying to get their masters or whatnot. Probably not even a licensed social worker. I mean, and make sure to document everything, because if you are faced with a CPS case, you want to keep a record of what's going on, because you don't want no hiccup.
Because 99% of the time they're gonna do something illegal, and you can't sue them afterwards. You can go after them civilly, and that's what we want. We want more people to do, because hopefully that will stop them.
Hold them accountable, right? And that's what we're here to do, and we're here. We can help you, and we can help each other.
Yes, I've learned so much from Danielle and the Punisher. I found them a couple months ago, and just everybody, this whole little tribe that I feel like I have now, and just so much information.
I just think there was a time that each one of us was at that starting point. Like, if you're just experiencing your case, like, we all started there at one time. Like, we all were at the beginning, and we didn't know nowhere near what we know now. And
and I wish I found you guys quicker. The quicker you start getting information, the better.
Like,
I can't read the comments. Has anybody else commented?
No. There's been people in and out, but usually the visitors, like, and people in and out would be like around the midnight 1 o'clock show. It is cool. Well, we can go ahead and.
Is there anybody in here? Is there anyone in here?
No, not really. So we can go ahead.
Why, if anybody is?
Well, we can go ahead and.
Will you still talk to me, Christine? Or are you going to bed, or Christine? Sorry, you look like my friend Christine. Danielle.
Do I?
Will you talk to me, or are you going to bed?
I'm taking to probably go to bed. It's been
Okay.
And that's another thing. Don't let yourself get overworked and overstressed when you're dealing with stuff like this. Self-care. I can't stress that enough, because it is a lot. It is a lot, but I promise you will make it through it.
You got plenty of time for it if your kids aren't here, unfortunately. But it is a good time to start self-care.
And then you always got to look out for self-care. Because if you don't care for yourself, how are you going to care for somebody else or something else? Or how are you going to do, because you got to think
That's
about
right.
you to begin with. Because
The oxygen mask on yourself first.
and there's, and lean on other people, because you're not in this alone, and there's no I in team. So, you are not alone.
Or pack.
So, but we're gonna go ahead and cut this short, and y'all have a great morning. It is January 23rd, and we will be on. Brenda's show will be on this morning. I think it's at 9:30 Eastern time. And then you got what is today, Thursday? And then you got no, I'm not. I'm going to try to be on this afternoon, probably about 5 o'clock Eastern time, Unmasking Foster Care Corruption with me. My name's Danielle. Then we got the Tip and Punisher show, I think at 7 Eastern time. Then we got Kim's show, I believe. I don't know exactly. I got to get the time schedule or the times. Like
I think that's 10.
Okay. Well, that's the. Oh, and then Vinny's show's at 11. I think in the morning. I think it's this morning. And but just be on the lookout for the notifications where we schedule the shows.
Yeah, tap the bell and it'll tell you when somebody's live.
So we got the Wicked Warriors. We got so we thank y'all for joining us. Like, share, follow us, subscribe, and we will see y'all on the next show. I'll be back on Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern time.
No, you just said you're back today.
I might
Thursday.
be back today. Yeah, because usually I'm on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and after doing this all nighter right here, we got a lot accomplished, and I'm proud of it. So that's a good day. That's a good it's gonna
good time.
So it's gonna be a sunny day and not a rainy day. That's what they always said about the treasure box. When we're not gonna have no rainy days today, not this week. It's like when we were little, kindergarten, first grade, had to have a good week. And then I was thinking about little Johnny and the kid that he's gonna get his lesson. It's a TikTok video. I thought it was cute. Little Johnny's gonna get a black eye, and we gonna have both rainy days. Hey, Johnny don't keep his hands.
I remember that.
I thought that was cute. So everybody, y'all be good. Y'all be safe. Have a wonderful day.
Bye, guys.
And me and Lady P are out, and we will see y'all the next time. Bye, everyone.
See you later.
Good night.
Bye.